Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that that was pretty intense. So let's jump right into it. This episode, the bullet points is that Ellie is taking care of Joel. Joel is dying. Ellie knows he's dying and he really needs medicines. She goes out to hunt and try to take care of him as long as she can. Gets to meet a group of bandits. Well, not bandits, just, well, at first, survivors who are a little sus, to say the least. But no, their leader, David, very nice guy. Seems at least seems pretty legit nice. Talks to Ellie and they trade penicillin for some meat. She gets some penicillin, gives it to Joel, but David is not really done with this girl, and well, he gets his creep on, if you know what I mean, and catches her, and yeah, wants to. Well, they're cannibals, you see, but he doesn't want to eat her, not in the cannibal sense. I mean, if you catch my drift. But yeah, that's what's happening here, and we have this episode of intense hatred that kind of goes onto your veins towards the people who are actually holding on to Ellie. Also, uncertainty about what's going to happen. Of course, if you play the game, you know what is going to happen, but movie also really plays into the backstory of these people to a certain degree and really makes it personal for you to understand, like, oh, these guys are actually creeps, and of course they're like ruling a town. But some people know that they're eating human flesh, but a lot of people also don't know or choose to ignore the fact that something fishy is going on, just trying not to look at the data and the evidence here. And we have Ellie, on the other hand, who's in a jail cell, and David, in a weird, creepy way, is trying to like father her, but at the same time, you know, he kind of wants a little bit more than that. It was bad, guys. It was bad. They really like amped up that part of David to 1,000. But they took everything from the same main game. But oh, how neat was it that we had Troy Baker from the game play a character here who basically got meat cleaver to death by Ellie. It was so good, this episode. I'm very impressed, and the fact that they approached this episode, they approached the whole series so far as if they were actually like just like adapting a stage play and just bringing it into the film. The dialogues are the same, but it's not really something that bothers me. The actions are the same as well. Of course, to a certain degree, when Ellie needs to go and play hide and seek basically with David, when David is basically trying to kill her and, well, Ellie goes nuts basically, you kind of feel like, oh, because Joel starts to recover, you think that they are actually going to give it to Joel. They're gonna give this moment to Joel, and like Joel is gonna come out of nowhere and is gonna shoot the bad guy and save Ellie, and it's gonna be great. But the people, I mean, at least in my taste, is I wanted Ellie to get the moment, and by God, she did. And it was the first time I had to look away from the screen in the whole series, I gotta say, because count the seconds, please. I think this scene will go for the longest stabbing scene in the cinematic history, at least to my count. Maybe something in Game of Thrones can beat it. Ellie starts meat cleaving David for 20 seconds straight. Like, I was like, okay, like in the game, it only lasts for like 5, 6, 7 seconds. I mean, don't get me wrong, David clearly had it coming, and it was very satisfying to see that his little creep ass just getting what he deserves. But it was very intense and also builds up on the dark side of Ellie quite a bit. A dark side that even David tells her about. So it's an interesting foreshadowing to see what Ellie is going to become later down in the second season and hopefully third season. Overall, in the end, I gotta say, I'm very impressed with the way they've adapted the story for the big screen, basically. Because I do have to say, I do wish that they really played into the scene where David and Ellie basically have their standoff, and Ellie's like hiding around in the restaurant to try to like avoid him. I wish they kind of like build up on a suspense slightly, or maybe it's just because I knew what was gonna happen. I was hoping for it to happen. But overall, it was a very good adaptation. I mean, the fact that they even use the same dialogue, and the dialogue is actually really, really good, make this a very enjoyable experience. I mean, for me as a fan of the game, and also for people who haven't played the game, because it's actually a very good dialogue and very good exchanges between the people. In the end, I gotta say, I'm pretty sad that there's only one episode left of The Last of Us, and can't wait for the second season. I hope there better be a second season, I'll be honest with you. We have one more episode to go. I'm going to be uploading the reviews for the other episodes as well soon, but I just had to jump in here and do it for this episode because it was really, really well done. Okay, anyways, if you like the content, if you like what I'm producing here, please hit the like and subscribe button and see you around. Take care, guys. Ciao.